What's up, y'all? Man, yo, what's up? See, I can't tell. This thing is spinning with this new Facebook Live, and so I don't know if I'm on yet or I'm not on yet, but I think I'm on now. So, what's happening? So, we'll let a few people get on here. It's so great to be on here tonight, man. My name is Jeff. I'm a grateful believer who's in recovery from drug addiction. I still struggle with a whole bunch of stuff, anger issues, pride issues. Man, the list goes on too far. Yeah, I could go on for the whole 30 minutes about my issues, but you're not on here for all that. So, man, I see a bunch of y'all starting to sign on. It's so great to see y'all on here. Man, I'm so honored to be on here. Uh, I'm just beside myself. It's just an amazing opportunity. So, look, I'm going to let some other people continue to sign on before we really get into the meat of things tonight. But if you're new here, man, I want to tell you, if you're new here tonight, if this is your first time on a Sobriety Recovery Facebook Live, we want to welcome you. And I hope that you'll tell us where you're from. And, if you got any prayer requests, throw them out there. We would love to have an opportunity to pray for you, to welcome you to the group. And, hey, look, if you're a Broken Chains member, I want you to tell us where you're from, and I want your member number on there. You see, as Broken Chains members, when we join, our applications are numbered, and so we all get a member number, and people proudly display those, and as we grow, the numbers get higher and higher. It's just amazing. So you'll see it's opposite on the screen. So right here you'll see I'm number 2, and I'm the national director and the founder of Broken Chains. And people often say, well, why are you number 2? How are you number 2? And the truth is because Jesus is number 1, right? He's number 1. And so we reserve that for him. So again, man, if you're brand new on here tonight, we welcome you. What a great opportunity to be encouraged, to be empowered, to be entertained, man. I mean, this is just a great venue for you to get on and get information about what's going on in Sobriety Recovery. Sobriety Recovery, it's the greatest vehicle to move people towards the cross that ever was. And so I want to begin by talking about the summit. I mean, we got a couple of announcements here tonight, right? The summit, the CR Online Summit, the first ever online Come Rejoice Summit. I mean, the first ever. I mean, this is amazing. This is history making. This is just going to be an incredible event. It's going to be an opportunity for people to come to the summit that could have never come otherwise. People that, there's no flight expense or car rental or hotel or food. You can watch the online summit from the comfort of your own home, your bike shed, at your church with a group. You can have watch parties. I mean, it's only $49 per person for every 5 people that sign up. You get one free. Free? I mean, who could that be? Maybe your pastor, maybe your spouse, maybe your kid, maybe your neighbor. I mean, it just goes on because the summit, as far as I'm concerned, I might get in some trouble for this, but the summit isn't just for Sobriety Recovery people, right? Now, the truth is, Sobriety Recovery is for everybody, but the summit is traditionally for Sobriety Recovery leaders to come, but this online summit opens up an opportunity for people in your church, in your home, in your communities to be exposed to Sobriety Recovery in just such an amazing way. So make sure you invite plenty of people. You can go to the website at crsummits.com, and that's with an S. CRSUMITTS.com, and go there. You can register there. You can pick up cool gear. Look, man, I got my new t-shirt straight out of the Nile, right? Look, I even tied up my beard so you can see it okay. And Pamela and I, we got our official Come Rejoice Sobriety Recovery t-shirts. I mean, these are available at crsummits.com. Look, you can get the word out they have Facebook profile pic frames, backgrounds for the top of your Facebook page. I don't even know your cover. You have cover pictures, Zoom backgrounds. I mean, there's just all kind of resources to help get the word out about this amazing, the greatest recovery party ever, man. We stand to have in tens of thousands of people around the world tuning in. And look, you don't even got to take time off work. It's Thursday and Friday, July 30th and 31st, but you can watch it for a whole week after it's over, right? Man, that is just amazing. So you can catch a couple hours of it every day. I mean, after work, Saturday to Saturday, it's going to be available afterwards. And for Spanish-speaking folks, there's going to be translated. I guess we're going to have closed caption for in Spanish. I mean, I'm just so excited. I'm almost out of breath. I might have to get my inhaler. It's just going to be a great opportunity, And, man, I'm so glad that so many of you guys have joined us tonight. I mean, the Sobriety Recovery National Team has done an amazing thing by having a Facebook Live and encouraging Facebook Live every night of the week since this pandemic has begun. And so many of you guys have tuned in to be encouraged, to be entertained, to be empowered. I mean, we all need this. And so many of us can't connect physically. I mean, that's starting to happen in places, but they can't connect physically. You can't connect physically, a lot of you, but we're able to get on here and see hundreds of our forever family joining. And, with your Sobriety Recovery Crisis Response Zoom groups going on all around the country. I mean, our national team, they care, and I'm so glad to be a part of that and to serve with people that do care. And we're all in this thing together. We're all forever family, right? So look, I do want you to check out crsummits.com. I do want you to let us know if you're a newcomer or a Broken Chains member on here tonight. And I also want you to put your prayer requests on here tonight. Look, prayer is important. We got CR leaders from all over the world joining us tonight, Broken Chains leaders from all over the world. And if you're new here or if you've been a forever family for the last 25 years, man, we all got prayer requests, right? Right now, I want to ask you to pray for my stepdaughter. She had her tonsils out today, and that's tough on adults. And even though she's my stepdaughter, she's an adult because I'm kind of old, So anyway, I'd ask that you would pray for her and that you would pray for all of our Sobriety Recovery National Team that's preparing for this online summit, this first ever event. And so there's a lot of first evers, going on there. And so we just ask for you to pray for wisdom and guidance and encouragement for all of our Sobriety Recovery National Team as they take on this unique first time ever endeavor. It rhymed, didn't it? Glory. So yeah, and I want you to post your prayer requests. But look here, there's something a little unique about Broken Chains, man. Well, I guess it's not unique about Broken Chains, but here's something that I always say that I got from my pastor. Look, for every prayer request, there ought to be 10 praise reports. And one of the things I know, especially in these trying times with our forever family all over the country, is we need those praise reports. I want you to post what God's done in your life, what God's allowed you to do, just the amazing things, God, the chains that God has broken in your life, the doors that He's opened, just those opportunities to share the gospel, those opportunities to share with our brothers and our sisters, to love on people and to be loved on. Share those things because somebody's out there and they're struggling tonight and they need to see what God's brought you through, right? Isn't that part of what Sobriety Recovery is all about? Letting others know what God has brought us through so that they can have hope. That's why they call us hope dealers. We're slinging that hope everywhere we go with our experience, strength, and you got it, hope. So I really am glad to be on here tonight with you guys. I'm sorry. I got to take a drink. I get a little dry in my throat from time to time. So thanks for excusing me for that. But I did have some stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. And it comes out of the book of Galatians. Paul wrote the Galatians letter, and it isn't very long, but man, it's powerful. It really has packs a punch, and I just love Galatians. And so there's one scripture that just hollers, it screams out to me, and I hope it'll scream out to you, and that's Galatians 6:9. And look, I'm not reading it out of my Sobriety Recovery Bible, although I have it right here, but I know the scripture, but I may have a word or two wrong. But the Galatians 6:9 says, don't grow weary in well-doing. Or in other words, don't grow weary in doing good. For in due season, if you don't faint, if you don't give up, you will reap a reward. You will reap a reward. And as, I'll get choked up over that, man, because it's so true. It's so true. And for so many of us, it's also so tough, right? Because Paul was talking to the Galatians about to not grow weary in well-doing. He meant in living by the Spirit, because in due season, if you continue to die to the flesh and to live in the spirit, that you'll reap that harvest of eternity one day, right? But it goes so much bigger than that. For me and you in recovery, I mean, we understand that. How many times has someone come to you, or you may be somebody saying, I've been doing this for 2 weeks, or 2 months, or 2 years, and life's still not great. I mean, I'm making progress, but it's tough. Well, Jesus promises it was going to be tough. But what I can promise you is 100% of the time, if you keep making good choices, if you keep doing good, and you don't give up, you will reap a reward 100% of the time. How many of us have been in our recovery? We're working through the 12 steps, and we might get halfway through in 6 months and say, man, this is just too hard. It's too tough. Or how about even after going to Sobriety recovery for 10 years and you're saying, man, I give up my Friday night for the last 10 years, or my Tuesday night, or my Monday night, or my Thursday night for the last 10 years. And it's tough. It's getting tough. But don't grow weary. Don't grow weary in well-doing. For in due season, if you don't faint, you will reap a reward. And I see people commenting right now. They're battling. They're in the middle of a battle. Keep making those smart choices, and you will reap that reward, that fruit of sobriety, that fruit of restoration, that fruit of your labor will come to harvest. It will. I know it will, because it has in my life. And has it completely? No, I still got a lot of things I got to work on. But I just want to tell you a couple of personal stories. Beginning with me. I want to tell you, look, I was plugged into a church. After a year of sobriety, I moved back home to North Carolina. I plugged into a church, and I just wanted to serve. And so I started cutting the grass. And then I started cleaning the church, cleaning the bathrooms, cleaning the pews. I mean, even getting underneath and pulling the gum off and the trash out of where the hymnals, people would shove trash in there. I mean, I went through there, and there was stuff that had been there for a long time because no one had cleaned it like I was cleaning it at that time. I just kept doing it. I just go over there at 5 o'clock in the morning, be quiet, and I could pray, and I could work. It wasn't easy. And most of the time, nobody even knew that I was doing that, right? So then you keep going, and I kept plugging in. I kept doing what I was doing, and finally I started a Sobriety recovery there at the church. I served in that Sobriety recovery. 2 years later, I came on board as a North Carolina state representative for Sobriety recovery. And you know what? I served in that role for 7 years, and I kept coming back. And after a while, I thought, you know what? There's really nowhere else for me to go. I've kind of topped out here, but I know this is what I was born to do. This is what I was meant to do, and so I just kept doing it. I kept doing it. And then Broken Chains started. And we started Broken Chains, and things began to snowball, and I began to travel and share the gospel, and then I was able to share my story at the Sobriety Recovery Summit. I got to tell you guys, I shared my story for 9 years. For 9 years, I traveled around and shared my testimony when people would ask me to come. I dreamt of sharing it at the CR Summit. I didn't think that was ever going to happen for me. But see, I just had to keep doing what I was doing. God opened those doors. God opened those doors. I didn't ask anybody. I didn't shove on any doors. I just kept making the next right choice. I kept doing good. I kept doing the right thing. And God began to open the doors. God opened the doors. And now, so I'm 13 years sober. I'm 12 years back home in North Carolina. I'm serving on the Sobriety Recovery National Team, and I'm talking to you guys on the CR official Facebook Live tonight. I mean, I'm blown away. That 13 years ago, I was eating out of dumpsters, right? Well, let me tell you another way that story can go. You know, I got a buddy of mine. I won't throw any names out there, but I got a friend of mine. Man, he was plugged in this CR. He was strong. He got saved and sober in prison. He was coming to Sobriety Recovery. He was coming to church every time the doors opened. He was a meeting maker. Man, he was working the steps. He was plugged in. And all of a sudden, he had this successful business, and the business was going great. And he had boats and motorcycles and trucks and trailers. He was buying a house. Everything was fantastic. But you see, his business got going so well, they just didn't have time. He stopped having time to make it to Sobriety Recovery. He stopped having time to make it to meetings. He just didn't have time, right? He had to quit doing those things that he knew was right so that he could chase after the success in the flesh that he was looking for. And after 8 years of sobriety, after 8 years, and I mean, this guy, he knew recovery. I mean, like nobody I ever knew. I mean, it was amazing how plugged into recovery he had been prior to unplugging, prior to stopping making those good choices. So after 8 years of sobriety, he relapsed. And unfortunately, that's been about, I don't know, that's been 2 or 3 years at this point. What I can tell you is in that relapse, he lost his children again, he lost his wife, he lost his business, he lost all of his stuff. He had a car accident and took a life. And then he lost his freedom. And today he's sitting in prison. And he won't get out for another 5 years until 2025. After 8 years of sobriety, you see, we have to stay plugged into the process. We have to not grow weary in doing right and making right choices and doing good, right? See, if you're on here tonight and you say, man, I've been doing this thing for 6 months and things are still really tough. Just keep doing it. That's what I'm telling you. Just keep doing it. Keep plugging in. Keep making the right choices. Keep doing the smart things, because I promise you 100% of the time it will pay off. 100% of the time. That's no joke. 100% of the time. Because let me tell you, I got another friend who's been sober for, I think it was like 3 years. 3 years. And this person decided that they just wanted to go out one more time. Just one more time. See, the enemy will distract us if we don't stay plugged in, if we don't really stay plugged in. See, that's what it takes. I got to have accountability partners. I got to have a sponsor, and not just have a sponsor. I got to use my sponsor. I can't just have accountability partners. I got to use my accountability partners. I got to allow them to speak into my life. Because you see, this person, they decided just one more time. They didn't have anybody to talk them out of that. They weren't making meetings. They didn't play it out to the end. One more time, they thought they could go out and do it, and they had a car accident, hit a tree, and broke their neck. After 3 years of sobriety. And now they're in a wheelchair for the rest of their life. Don't grow weary in doing right, man. Don't grow weary in doing the right thing. You know, that's the 12 steps. You know, in Sobriety Recovery, we began to work the principles and the steps, and it's a process. You see, I'm not gonna get better after the first step. I mean, I'm gonna start making progress. And then the second step. And then the third step, and then the fourth step. You know, it really gets tough. The fifth step, brutal, right? But the freedom that we begin to feel. Then we roll on the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th steps. It's a process. It takes some time. But even when we get there, I mean, how many of you guys have worked multiple step studies, have gone through multiple step studies? Because there's always something else. Because we're being refined the whole time. We won't arrive till that day when we meet him, but we'll make progress. and things get better and we reap the rewards right here on earth. I mean, in Galatians, he's talking about reaping the harvest of eternity. But I'm telling you what, man, God gives us victories here. He gives us harvests here. One of the harvests, one of the fruits of my recovery was spending 8 years with my mother before she passed away. We had a great relationship. One of the fruits of my recovery is that I have a wonderful, beautiful, amazing Christian wife, Pamela. One of the harvests of my recovery is my family, my kids. I have a daughter and a stepdaughter and a stepson. I love them all with all my heart. They add so much to my life. Look, these things you see behind me, all this broken chain stuff, those are all gifts from you. From you guys are the fruits, the harvest of me doing the right thing, making the right choices. But it wasn't until I got plugged into him and the power that he had for my life that I was able to make those right choices. And you see, once we get through the 12 steps, it's not over, right? You don't say, well, I've worked the 12 steps. Now I'm good. No, man, we have maintenance steps, step 10, 11, and 12. Step 10 says we continue to take personal inventory. When we're wrong, we promptly admit it. That's a daily thing, Paul says, I have to die to myself daily. We have maintenance steps we have to do daily. Step 11 says, through prayer and meditation, I've improved my conscious contact with God. I mean, we've got to set that time aside daily. Step 12 says, after having had a spiritual experience as a result of these steps, I try to practice these principles and carry this message. Yeah, I know I'm messing it up. But I practice these principles in all my affairs and carry this message out and give it to others. I mean, this thing is a process. Life is a process. Don't grow weary in well doing. It's so easy to become discouraged when we feel like what we're doing is not making a difference, right? But the truth is, when we're making those bad choices, we didn't think what we were doing was making a difference either, right? But it was. It was. And eventually we reap that harvest. Because that's God's principle. We reap what we sow. And so, I want to encourage you tonight. I want to encourage you to keep doing the right thing. Keep doing the right thing. I don't know where you're at. I don't know what's going on in your life. I wouldn't pretend to have that information. Even if I know you, I don't know what's going on inside here. A therapist told me one time, never judge somebody's intent. I don't know why you do what you do. You don't know why I do what I do, right? I mean, you don't know what our thoughts are. But I can tell you this because this is God's promise. Don't grow weary in well-doing. For in due season, if you don't faint, don't give up. You will reap a reward. You might reap a reward. Not you can possibly reap a reward. God says you will reap a reward. My life, see, I don't know about your life, so what I can talk about is my life. And I know that the ministry of Celebrate Recovery has helped me to continue to focus on doing the right thing. You see, I don't know about you, but for me, Sunday morning just wouldn't be enough. But don't be throwing anything at me, man. You can't hit me. We're online anyhow. Sunday morning is important. Believe me. Look, church. Going to church and sitting under the word under a pastor, that's so important. It's absolutely important. But check this out. It ain't enough. It's not enough. I could have went to church and wore a mask and just showed up every Sunday. There's a lot of people out there doing that. It's sad. And that's why Celebrate Recovery has just been, I don't know, it's a revolution in the church, right? For a bunch of messed up people like me and you that love Jesus to be able to admit it, to drop the mask, to say that we don't have it all together, but we're working on it, right? We're working on it. And if we keep working on it, get that? If we keep working on it, one day we will get there. We'll hear those words, well done, good and faithful servant. You know, he doesn't ask us to do a whole lot. Love God, love others. And if we love others well, that's pretty much doing good. But he qualifies it like this. He says, love others as you love yourself, right? So we have to love ourselves enough that we're willing to let God refine us, to let God take us through this process. And we have to do our part. And if we keep making the smart choices, we keep coming back, we keep making our means, we keep sowing into the lives of others around us, we keep letting God clean us up from the inside out through this amazing ministry of Celebrate Recovery, then we will reap a reward. Look, I spent 44 years of my life drinking and drugging, violent behavior, homeless, burden to my family. When I let Jesus Christ come into my heart, when I plugged into his power through the 12 steps and the 8 principles of Celebrate Recovery, when I learned how to live life the way the Creator intended, when the creation operates the way it was created intended to by the Creator, everything works out. So today, look, my life's not perfect, but it's good. It's good. And I was looking, me and my wife, I'm going to tell you the truth. We live in a house that costs about $20,000. We ain't no mansion, but it's a castle for us. I'm so grateful, man. I'm so grateful for everything God's done in my life, because 13 years ago I was eating out of dumpsters. And if it weren't for the ministry of Celebrate Recovery, I'm sure that I would have went back to my mess, because I would have never been strong enough or had the tools, or like my friend, when life hit, that's how I knew how to deal with it. So if you're having a tough time tonight, plug in with somebody, reach out to somebody, shoot us a prayer request on here. Let somebody pray for you, pray with you. Make the smart choice. Don't go back out there. Stay in here with us, because we're your forever family. If you're on here, man, and you're going through all this stuff with the social distancing, the mask, the pandemic, social injustice, there's a lot going on out there. We need each other. And we need to make those smart choices. We need to keep making those smart choices. Sometimes it's tough. But it's okay, because you have a forever family all over the world with you. You have Jesus Christ with you to keep making the smart choices. And if you'll do it, I promise you, 100% of the time, you will reap a reward. It's amazing. And so I see we did about 30 minutes. Look, I want you guys tonight, share this video. Let other people see. There's plenty that you guys are posting that need to be seen. It's not all about what I got to say. It's about what we all have to say. We want to pray for you. We want to rejoice with you. So give us those praise reports. Give us those prayer requests. Ask those questions. There's leaders that are going to be reading this even after we sign off. They can answer those questions for you. And go to crsummits.com and get registered for the Come Rejoice online summit. It's going to be the most amazing Christian event that I've known of, absolutely, for this year, because I don't know what God's going to do next year. But remember, everybody can benefit from the Sobriety Recovery Come Rejoice Summit. It's just, I'm just blown away. I'm just so excited and amazed about what God's doing, what he's going to do through all this, how he's going to reach the world through people like you and me. He can do some pretty neat tricks with some old broken sticks, right? I love you guys, man. Y'all have a great night. And if I can do anything for you, hit a brother up. Peace out.